What is dating really like? What is dating supposed to be like? There is no perfect formula for finding the right partner or the perfect spouse. Now, the really big question is, are you dating right? Are you doing the right things? Where is your relationship heading to? Welcome to this amazing series of Dating to Marriage with Sarah. And if you're new here, like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. And if you're back, please do not be selfish. Share this content with some other friend, a brother, a sister, or someone you want to uplift, because it's really amazing. So in the process of dating, we end up doing things that we're not exactly supposed to be doing, and one of those things that I'm really going to emphasize today is sex before marriage. So you see, this whole dating thing is, I'm getting to know you. You get to know my personality, you get to know what I like, you get to know my dreams and ambitions. But we have this thing where people are like sort of taking the shortcut and jumping into the bed. Now you see, when you get into the whole sex act, you are like putting on hold the real things that you're supposed to be getting to know. You are just looking at the body and satisfying yourself. Ever gone through a situation where you're extremely thirsty and you just want to drink anything that comes your way because really you want to quench your thirst? But after taking that water or whatever it is that you have taken, you're going to feel like, oh, okay, I'm full. Now what next? You get bored. So that is exactly what happens when you engage in sex before marriage. You put aside the really important stuff and get into the stuff that is not important at that moment. So you really need to know that sex before marriage, or sex before marriage, is not love. If you're having sex with someone just because you think you love them, or you think you are trying to make them commit to you, you are wasting your time. It's not love. You are sort of submitting to your feelings, the feelings, feelings of lust, feelings of I just want to quench something right now, not necessarily those deep inner desires of your heart, of your body, of your soul. You put all that aside. Most of the times when we see someone who is really attractive, it's not the attraction is not really stirred up in the deepest of yourself. It's usually the upper bit, maybe the shallow end of you. You feel like, okay, maybe I could touch her, or maybe I could touch him, or maybe I could get really close to that person. But just like the example I gave of someone who is really thirsty, sometimes the feeling can be so strong. When you're next to them, or you're in the same room with with that person, you really want to, there's something that seems to be stirred up in you, and it's so strong. You feel so passionate. You feel like, I wish I could just, it's just a feeling for that moment, but the feeling can be extremely strong. Now, most of us confuse that feeling for love. We confuse it for love. Just imagine you have really hiked a long distance, or you have walked for long, and now you have stopped because you're so tired, you're sweating. The only thing your mind is thinking about is water. I wish I could get water. I want to take water. You are in the middle of a desert and you're extremely thirsty. All you think about is water. In fact, when you see something that looks like water, whether it's clean or dirty, you don't really care. All you want to do is quench your thirst. Now that thirst is, what can be compared to in this circumstance of lust. You feel that the emotion can really be strong, but it's deceptive. It's not love, it's lust. Because at the end of the day, when you sleep with that person, let's say the action is done, your mind kind of gets back to normal. I hope you get what I'm saying. Your mind gets back to normal. You're thinking, okay, after taking water, you look at the bottle and it's no longer of value to you. You can throw it away because the thirst is no longer there. Your thirst has been quenched. So that's the same thing what that happens when you get into bed with someone, apparently because of love, or you're dating them. All they're going to do is use you. They want that feeling of thirst to be quenched, and once it's quenched, they can still move on to someone else. It's really, they have no obligation. Now for you on the other end, maybe you sort of went there thinking that the person loved you. You begin to deal with this emotionally. Remember, there are two parties, maybe the lady and the gentleman. So the lady could be in love, or maybe they're looking for something meaningful. But the gentleman, because they really want to quench that thirst, they will do everything to make sure that the person, their prey, gets the message of, I really like you. Getting back to that example of that water, when you're really thirsty, you will do anything to reach that water because you want to quench your thirst. So some of the actions that people portray during dating may be just small teasers to lead you into the sexual act, but not really genuinely. That's why it's good to postpone a bit. Just keep focus on getting to know the person. Focus on hanging out in places where you don't really have to. It's really awkward for you to get very close. Public places, or places that are not so public but a bit private but not extremely private, so that the bit of temptation is minimized. So there you can tell that this person is not being nice because they want to touch me, but because they actually want to get to know me. You can actually realize that this person is not trying to discover my body, but they're trying to discover my personality. The flowers are not meant to be a ticket to my body, but they are a ticket to something else in my life. They want to get to know me. They want to know what I like, what I fancy, what makes me happy, what makes me sad. Genuinely, most of the times after engaging in a sexual act with a person, you find that when you call them, they don't pick up, or even when you are still in bed, the person will no longer give you that attention, because they feel like what they wanted is done. There is nothing more. You're practically irrelevant. And ladies who are extremely emotional get it. They see that there's something that has changed about him. The calls are not that frequent. The gifts are not, the attention is not the way it was before, because you gave out something that was really, really precious, and this person sort of feels like, I'm done with this, can I move on to something else? And by the way, there's this other trick of, you find the person will ignore you for some time, then when that feeling comes back again of, okay, I'm really, really thirsty, I need to quench my thirst, they now start trying to get back to you, call you more, try to be nice, just to get into bed with you. And after that, they will still move on. So you find that your cycle of dating is, there are moments when things are really, really nice, and there are moments when things are, the silence, the streets of WhatsApp are really quiet. Your messages are there are no messages, the phone calls are not even there, because this person feels like, for now I don't really need her, So now getting to commit to such a person is really, really dangerous, because you are a person, you are seasonal. Like when Christmas comes, we demand for Christmas trees, but when it's January, who is going to buy a Christmas tree? No one. So that's how you are in your relationship. When the demand is there, you will be required. You will be loved, or they will try to love you. They will try to look out for you. They will try to, sound like they are caring. And you always fall for it. And after the bed act, you go back to your normal things. You try to call, They don't pick up. I was busy, I had this meeting, this deal, my friend, my mom. Like that the reasons become reasons. Like they don't even make sense. But because you have already given a part of you, you feel like you're stuck. That takes me to the next thing. So because you engaged in sex before marriage, you have given a bit of you, actually almost the entire bit of you, to that person. That's why you find a lady who has had sex with a guy before marriage will always cling to that person. It's actually clinging, because you tell yourself, I'm not going to call him again, and you call him. You tell yourself, I'm not going to send the next WhatsApp, and you send. You tell yourself, I'm not going to check out his status update, or I'm not going to keep trying to spy on him. You find yourself doing it over and over again, because something in you was taken away. He has that part of you, and even when you try to leave, something keeps pulling you back, because a part of you was given to that person. You gave that person power over your life. You gave that person the rights to make you feel like you're valued or not valued. In fact, even the people who truly, genuinely cherish and care about you, you don't see that. You only see what this person is doing to you. You become like an addict or a crazy junkie. If the person just says hi, your whole life lights up. But this person has said hi in a month, and you cling to that hi. Now remember, sometimes you talk to your friends and you're saying, okay, today I'm going to stop, but you find yourself doing the same thing because you got involved in sex with that person. You gave a bit of you. Sex is really, really dangerous when it's done with the wrong person, when it's done at the wrong time. There's an exchange that goes on. Spiritually, your destinies are switched. You find that after having sex with this person, when the relationship is done, this person is probably going to do much better than you. And years later, you ask yourself, what really went wrong? How come my ex is doing better than me? Something was swapped when you got involved in that sexual act. Some of you, after having sex, that's when your self-esteem drops. You used to be a cheerful person, very confident. You knew that you were beautiful, not that you were arrogant, but you just knew that you can't settle for certain things. But you find yourself in an abusive relationship. You can't even reach certain goals that you have set that was so easy for you to reach way back. Your personality extremely changes because you got involved in sex, and after that whole sexual act, your esteem dropped because this person didn't treat you right. They didn't. You felt like, if I give in to them, I'm going to secure love. I'm going to secure that just you're going to feel secure. You're going to feel like this person is going to be there forever. Just like when you go to a shop and you pay some money and get a product or a commodity that you want. So you have paid the money, and you have got the cookies, or you have got the chairs that you wanted, and you have them in your house. But you see, when you have sex, you are telling yourself, okay, let me give myself to you, and I know that you're going to be my companion for the rest of my life. It doesn't work that way. It's not something that you pay for and you now own that person. Instead, if you think you are trying to make that person come on your side, you're actually setting yourself in a trap where you will always be constantly saying, that person, I want to leave them, but there's something, because you gave yourself to that person. So right now, I think you have understood that sex before marriage is not the right path to take. Even when so many people are doing it, you don't have to be the kind of person that goes around doing that, because physical attraction is not sustainable. And jumping into sex during the dating process is submitting to physical attraction. But you see, you can't remain small forever. We have had people give birth, and even when they exercise, they can't go back to their exact size before giving birth. We have had people at a certain stage in life, their body just evolves. So if you fell for the physical attraction in the first place, really, it's not going to be sustainable. That person is not going to perform sexually well. Their sexual performance is not going to be exactly the same 10 years, 20 years down the road. Even when you decide to exercise so much or take those pills or whatever things that help, it's not going to be exactly like it was before. Somehow the energy reduces. That's how God created us. There's a time when you grow old, you retire from certain things. So if the basis of your relationship, your dating, is sex, definitely you will not be able to sustain it in the long run. So you find, because you can't keep getting, you're no longer getting what you wanted to get, definitely you will think of looking elsewhere, and that's where infidelity comes in the marriage, because you opened the door. And you also need to know that there's always a better person out there. There's a book called The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. It's definitely, it's really not like what the title says, but let's just stick to the title. The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. Just when you think you're extremely beautiful, just walk into a school and see those very young guys, young girls and young boys. They are very handsome, they're very beautiful girls, handsome boys. You can't, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, yes, but you also need to know that there's always better that is coming. Just be content with yourself. Let the person get to know you as you, everything about you, so that even when your skin is not that really nice, 10 years down the road, they will still love you for who you are, not for your skin. Even when your curves are not the best after giving birth, they will still appreciate you and look at you and say there's more to you than just that tummy. As much as you're trying to work on it, there's more to you. I enjoy spending my life with you. Yeah, look at it that way. And you definitely need to know that the person who focuses more on sex during the dating process is most likely to get bored in your relationship, is most likely to get dissatisfied, is most likely to get distracted, and when all those things come in, infidelity definitely kicks in. The whole thing of he's cheating on me, and he's not being loyal, he's not trustworthy, they all definitely follow sex before marriage. So if you want to get into marriage and be at rest, be at peace, please don't open the legs, keep them together and get to know each other more. So you need to know that sex is a distraction from the real things. Sex is a distraction from the real things, the real questions that we're supposed to be asking. Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you like? What did you do? What do you want to do in life? What are your plans for the next 5 years? And when the very hard questions come, like who is that? Can you explain this? And you really want answers, and the person begins to touch you, my dear, run, because they are distracting you from some very important information that you're supposed to know before you commit to that person. Don't fall for it. It's extremely fake. Even when everyone else is doing it, you can decide to be different. After all, when you commit and you get married to that person, you will be at rest. No one will disturb you. So you don't have to fall for it. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. I'm looking forward to the next episode, where we'll still be talking about dating to marriage and how you can do it better. See you in the next video.